Guys, please do subscribe our channel and support us. Have you ever wondered if the habits you followed your entire life could suddenly become harmful after 60? Especially when it comes to the part of men's health nobody likes talking about. Because let's be honest, most older men were never taught how intimate health changes with age. And so, they continue doing the same things they did in their 20s and 30s, without realizing their body has completely changed. Today, we're talking about 5 powerful daily care rules every older man should follow to stay healthy, comfortable, and confident. And trust me, some of these habits may seem small, but they can protect you from painful irritation, infections, embarrassing discomfort, and even serious health problems later on. Let's begin with the mistake many older men make without realizing it. Overcleaning. Now this sounds strange at first, because most men grew up hearing the same message. Scrub harder. Stay extra clean. So naturally, many older men use strong antibacterial soaps, rough washcloths, very hot water, sometimes even multiple showers a day. But here's what happens after 60. The skin changes dramatically. It becomes thinner, drier, more fragile, and the natural oils that once protected the skin begin disappearing. Now imagine this. Every time harsh soap touches sensitive skin, you strip away the little protection that remains. And slowly, the skin becomes irritated. Dryness appears. Redness develops. Itching becomes constant. Sometimes tiny invisible cracks form, allowing bacteria and fungus to enter more easily. Now think about how ironic that is. Trying too hard to stay clean can actually create more problems. That's why doctors now recommend gentler care for older men. Warm water, mild fragrance-free cleansers, no aggressive scrubbing, because aging skin doesn't need punishment. It needs protection. Now let's move to something many men avoid completely. Checking for changes. This may be uncomfortable to hear, but it's incredibly important. Many serious problems begin silently. No pain, no obvious symptoms, just small changes that are easy to ignore. A tiny bump, a red patch, a sore that doesn't heal. And because it doesn't hurt, many men convince themselves it's nothing. Now imagine this. Months pass, the problem quietly grows. And by the time it finally becomes painful, treatment becomes far more difficult. This is why doctors emphasize early detection so strongly, because noticing changes early can save lives. Now pause for a moment. How often do men actually examine their own health carefully? Not often enough. And yet, 10 seconds in front of a mirror each morning could reveal warning signs before they become dangerous. Now think about this. Paying attention to your body is not weakness. It's wisdom. Now let's talk about something most older men never even consider. Moisturizing. Many men hear the word moisturizer and immediately think, that's not for me. But aging skin loses moisture everywhere, not just on the face or hands. And dry skin creates friction, discomfort, sensitivity. Now imagine this. Simple movements throughout the day begin feeling irritating. Walking, sitting, even clothing rubbing against the skin becomes uncomfortable. Not because something is seriously wrong, but because the skin barrier has become too dry and fragile. And here's the important part. Dry, cracked skin is more vulnerable to inflammation and infection. Now imagine applying a small amount of gentle fragrance-free moisturizer daily after bathing. Suddenly, the skin feels calmer, softer, more comfortable, because healthy skin needs hydration at every age. Not vanity, protection. Now, let's move to something that affects far more than most men realize. Movement and circulation. Here's something many people forget. The body depends on blood flow for healing, sensitivity, and healthy tissue function. But after retirement, many men become far less active, more sitting, less walking, less movement overall. And poor circulation begins affecting the entire body, including intimate health. Now imagine this. Blood flow slows down. Tissues receive less oxygen. Healing becomes slower. Sensitivity decreases. And over time, the body simply doesn't function the same way anymore. But here's the encouraging news. Even gentle movement can make a difference. walking daily, gardening, stretching, standing up more often during the day. Simple actions that improve circulation naturally. Now think about this. Movement after 60 isn't about looking athletic. It's about keeping the body alive and functioning properly. And many men notice surprising improvements in comfort, energy, and confidence simply by moving more consistently. Now let's talk about the final rule. And honestly, this may be the one most older men get wrong. Rushing in the bathroom. Most men spend years hurrying through urination, quickly standing, quickly leaving. But aging changes the bladder and prostate. And many older men stop fully emptying the bladder without realizing it. Now imagine this. Small amounts of urine remain trapped. And over time, that leftover urine becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, leading to infections, frequent nighttime urination, leaks, discomfort. Now think about how frustrating that becomes. Constant bathroom trips, interrupted sleep, embarrassing accidents. And the solution may be much simpler than expected. Doctors often recommend slowing down, sitting instead of standing if needed, relaxing fully, waiting a few extra seconds before finishing, sometimes even trying again after a brief pause. These small changes help the bladder empty more completely, reducing irritation and improving comfort dramatically. Now pause for a moment. How many men silently accept these problems as normal aging, without realizing they can improve? Because that's the real message today. Aging changes the body, but ignoring those changes creates unnecessary suffering. Now let's bring everything together, because these 5 rules are not really about appearance. They're about dignity, comfort, health, gentle cleaning to protect aging skin, checking for warning signs early, moisturizing to prevent irritation, movement to support circulation, and mindful bathroom habits to protect bladder health. These habits may seem simple, but together, they can dramatically improve quality of life after 60. Now imagine this. Less irritation, better comfort, more confidence, more peace of mind. Not because you found some miracle product, but because you finally started caring for your body differently. And here's something important every older man deserves to hear. Taking care of yourself is not embarrassing. It's responsible. It's wise. And it's one of the strongest things you can do, because your body has carried you through an entire lifetime. And now, it deserves patience, attention, and care. So let me ask you, which of these daily habits surprised you the most today? And more importantly, what's one small change you're going to start making for yourself? Because sometimes, the smallest routines protect the most important parts of life.